Hi, hello everybody. Thank you for watching all the videos and thank you for all the likes and all the views on the videos. As discussed in the previous video, we're now getting to the business side of things and the actual facts and figures and why I say there's only one way to salvage South Africa, and that's to put SARS into business rescue. First and foremost, let me just explain one thing for you. The state of the economy at this moment is actually very simple. Like you could see, I've got an hourglass on the table. I'll explain now why it's here. At this moment in time, the expenses of the South African government exceeds the income from which they receive from taxes and other loans to such an extent that South Africa almost need to borrow 2 billion rand every day just to stay afloat. Now that is, if you look on an hourly basis, that is the hourglass. When the sand has actually passed through this hourglass, they would have needed to borrow 83 million rand every hour of the day. That's just to put the big picture for you into perspective. Obviously, the South African government, there's certain state control entities, certain investments they've got, to mention a few. You look at, we all know, I'm not going to state the obvious, but you're looking at the South African Airways, South African Broadcast Corporation, the Eskom debacle, Alexkor, Landbank, Denel, just to mention a few. Obviously, tapping into the taxpayers' money and the loans, which I doubt whether South Africa will be able to repay. Obviously, the most important part of this is to say, how do we stop the leak? How I've ended the previous video. First and foremost, we sit in a scenario where National Treasury, I can only imagine, request every day from SARS to say, listen, how much can you pay over? What is possible to pay over? And you need to take into consideration as well, these entities which I've just mentioned, and that's just a few, that's not even all of them. I'm making a statement here to say that these entities does not even pay on a monthly basis the pay as you earn back to SARS. That's the whole point of having a big workforce in South Africa of roughly about 2 million people working there, and indirectly we're looking at 21 million people getting money from SARS, from the government on a monthly basis. Furthermore, we sit in the scenario where we ran out of money and we need to borrow money. The state of the economy and the reason why I mention this, it is, I would assume, like Davy Rood, one of the economists I follow, what he actually said is, it's like trying to catch a falling piano. The whole landscape of South Africa, from a country that is flourishing, has really changed to a barren land. It's very difficult to recover from this. But all in all, we need to get to this situation now to say, listen, how are we going to stop the leak? And I can tell you this, there's only one way. We need to turn down the tap from SARS to National Treasury. It's hard-earned money that's actually filtering through there. It is misspent. We sit in the scenario today as well. Just yesterday it became knowledge that the 80 million rand spent on this COVID-19 vaccine, that was all in vain. The expiry date is the end of April. I believe that the actual effectiveness of this COVID-19 is something way south of 50%. So again, even the money they spent, it's not well thought out, it's not well researched, and here we sit. Again, like I say, as the sand proceeds to fall through this hourglass, an hour from now we had to borrow 83 million to keep this country afloat. So keep watching. The next video, we're going to look at the other side. This is more like on the balance sheet side of the government. We're going to look more on the income side of the government, which affects everybody, like myself and thousands of other South African businessmen and people sitting at home as well, to say, what do I get for my tax money? And we need to start discussing of how we're going to turn down the taps of SARS so that they can't proceed with passing the money through to National Treasury without proper corporate governance.